Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at level 51 Mega Sableye in the Ultra League. We're going to try to do some test matches here right now. Because this Mega got released while I was on vacation, I kinda want to try that one out as well. I had one already built to level like 40 I think, which was a 100% version. So I built this one now to level 50, and while you don't see it here around this Pokemon, it's actually a purified one, which is kind of funny because you don't really see it on the outside. And this Pokemon has of course now access to the move Return, but can trick the opponent because the opponent cannot see that you're purified, which is kind of funny. This Pokemon itself gets at level 51 to 2222 CP, which is kind of funny as well because we have 4 times a 2. But yeah, this Pokemon very strong of course in the Great League, of course, with the normal Sableye there. But can we also do something in the Ultra League with this Pokemon? We will find out today. As we're going to have here now a matchup against the Swampert, which I play out really horrific as the opponent was able to get a free Earthquake off against me. We're gonna get out now the opponent's Talonflame, and at this point of time this game is kinda over, I feel like. Very difficult to come back from this one. I'm gonna go for the Earthquake here. I can have to undercharge and try to get some energy against them. Didn't work out at all. And the Talonflame is most likely going to sweep me endgame here. But still, I can definitely say that the Sableye is a lot of fun to play. It was definitely, while it was only at 2222 CP, you saw that this Pokemon has actually kinda some potential still, which is kind of cool to see. I really hope that Niantic going to release something like the Mega Ultra League or something eventually as well, where you could use some Pokemon like Mega Altaria, the Medicham, the Sableye. There are quite a few cool Mega Pokemon that you could run for the Ultra League. So it would be a cool twist for like a Fun Cup together with like something like the Open Ultra League or the Open Great League together, so you don't really have to worry about people getting upset that the cup might be unbalanced or like unfair, so they at least have an alternative. I would really like to see that. But yeah, today we're going to take a look at the Sableye. We're going to have here a player that is insanely strong, by the way. This player hit rank 1 several times. I showcased them several times on my channel before. They're really good. Like, they're really good player. And we're going to now have the Mega Sableye against the Golisopod of the player here, as you're going to be able to see that the liquidation actually doesn't do as much damage as I expected it would do. Like, note, still we are 300 CP basically below most of the Pokemon here, and we will still be able to take some hits, which is really cool. I'm going to use a shield here just so I can go ahead and go for my own foul play against them. And we are hiding behind our gem here as the foul play going to get the final shield by the opponent. Can we still get there? No, we cannot. And this is going to be now a little bit of a trickier one. Exeter coming through. I'm kind of forced to go ahead and try to maybe even catch a move here onto my Stunfisk, but no, they can still get to another charge move here. This is going to be an interesting one. Exeter are going to do not as much as I expected actually, but the Moonblast is coming through here, and does this knock out the opponent? It does not. They actually still survive, and in comes the Charizard. We stopped fast enough that we can go ahead and go for the Rock Slide just before they can go for the Blast Burn, but this will allow the opponent now to overfarm by quite a bit. Playing it perfectly here, of course, like the players even qualified for Worlds. He's going to go to Worlds, so like, definitely good luck to him. And yeah, they played this game perfectly fine. They were able to go for another Blast Burn here. We can farm them down, but sadly we're going to lose just on the Grass Knot here against the opponent's Golisopod. And this match was actually really close, which I like, because it was against a very good player, and of course our good friend, the Sableye, is not really the strongest Pokemon usually. Let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have the Trevenant against us. This is going to be an interesting one as well, as we can go ahead and go for the Rock Slide, but our team kinda struggles against this Pokemon, as you might see already. And here, luckily, they went for the charge move immediately. Means they have now, I think, like 3 or 4 fast moves in. But I will now be able to swap out into my Sableye and hopefully get him low enough that I can farm him all the way down. I'm going to use a shield here for a potential Shadow Ball. And this was definitely the right call, as you're going to see now the Charizard coming in. They have to be careful because they could have Power Gem. They don't know that I actually have Return still, so they're going to shield up the move, and I can still get to another foul play here right now, which will force the shield again from the opponent. And they're kind of forced to go for one Blast Run right now as well, which is going to be really good for us, as this is going to take a lot of energy from them, and we have to still try to get to another Rock Slide against them. As they go for another Blast Burn, I know already I will be able to reach this this rock slide here in time so the opponent cannot go for a blast burn, and I will be able to knock out the opponent's Charizard. Now depends on what they have in the back. What do they have? They're going to have a Registeel in the back. This can be a little bit tricky. I have to overfarm to 7, but the opponent swaps the same time as I do, and this is going to be a little bit of a trickier one. I go straight for the Moonblast here right now, but now actually I'm in a fairly decent spot. I will be able to get the opponent fairly low, but as long as they cannot farm me down anywhere, I will be able to win. Because the opponent going to have to kind of throw a charge move against me in order to knock me out. But also, then I am going to be able to outspeed them with my Galarian Stunfisk. So, as you're going to see here right now, Zepkin coming through, I will be able to swap out into my Stunfisk. I can go for the Earthquake because they were not at a move yet. And this Earthquake is going to not knock them out, but one more Mud Shot will be all I need to knock them out. And this will be a very good game. Let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have here Gyarados in the lead. This can be a little tricky here, of course, as this is going to be still super effective against us with the Awkward Tail, but we're also super effective against them with our Rock Slide. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to get around half of the health gone from the opponent here, which is really decent for us as well. But they can do basically the same with the incoming Awkward Tail. It's going to hurt quite a bit, as he can go ahead and go for the Rock Slide here right now. Gonna get the shield from the opponent, and in comes now again another Awkward Tail. This is going to kind of go back and forth. I do outspeed them usually though, so that's that at least, as you're going to now see here that the Rock Slide is coming through. We're gonna get the shield, and I can swap out down to the Sableye. In comes the Registeel, which is really good for me, because I had to get rid of this Pokemon. This Pokemon would completely hard roll my Cresselia in the back, so I'm gonna like this matchup here right now. I can just leave all the shields for the other Pokemon here, and I will just go ahead and let them knock me out here, but not before I can go for some really decent damage from Foul Play. And I will be able to go for another Foul Play here even in time, and put them maybe even into farm down range for my, not for my Sableye. My Sableye would also farm them down, but of course my Galarian Stunfisk. They're going to undercharge here, which was a smart move because I just barely don't get to the next move, but I still can farm them down with the Cresselia, and in comes the Probopass, and we know already that the Probopass has nothing to do against Galarian Stunfisk, so as long as we can knock out the Gyarados, which we're going to do here right now, we will be fine, as now the Probopass is going to get one-shotted by one Earthquake. Excellent Probopass, a very bulky Pokemon, but not bulky enough to survive a stab double super effective Earthquake here, so this is going to be a very good game. Next opponent, let's take a look at this one. Clefable in the lead. Very good lead for me, and they're mostly going to swap out eventually, but they're actually going to stay in for now, and I'm going to farm up to 99 energy, as you see here, as the opponent does as well. We have clones of each other's fast move here, so they always basically get as much energy as I do. I think Moonblast is only 60 energy, so I think they need a little bit less. But in comes now the Como O, and we can go into our Cresselia. And Cresselia can take those hits, as well as we can now retaliate with the Moonblast, which is going to be fairly decent for us. Moonblast going to one-shot them, of course, here, but they can use some shields in order to prevent this, and we see the shield usage coming up here. But they have to use another one here in order to keep the Como O around. And that's exactly what they're going to do, actually. They're going to use another shield here, as they're going to be able to now let the next Dragonclaw go through as well. I can actually let the next one go through as well, but I'm going to decide to shield just in case. But they're mostly going to swap out as well, and they do not. Oh no, they actually did. I think they did swap out, but you didn't really see it here. And they did into the Clefable. They can still go for another move here. I can let this move go through. It's going to be the Moonblast. They can knock me out, and I can farm them down with my Galarian Stunfisk. Getting to a ton of energy, and also now gonna get out the final Pokemon of the opponent. It's going to be their own Cresselia. Allowing me to go for an Earthquake here, doing some decent damage against them. I can swap out now into my Sableye. And of course I can go for the Foul Play in time, hopefully, but now they can still get to their Moonblast here, which does not knock me out. And I thought the opponent going to swap out here, so I overfarmed by a little bit, but they didn't. And now I can go ahead and go for the Foul Play, doing some decent damage, and also going to allow me now to let this move go through. I still have a shield left if they have a close combat stored, and I just have to try to get to the Earthquake here, and I'm gonna go straight for the Earthquake here. This should knock out the opponent's Como O. It's decently bulky, but not as bulky, and now the Cresselia has nowhere to go, and this is going to be a good game. Let's take a look at the next opponent here. We're going to encounter the Galarian Stunfisk against the Virizion. Horrific lead. We're going to swap out immediately into our Say-Swap, the Mega Sableye. By the way, none of the opponents knew that I was running, in general, a Mega, but they maybe saw my buddy here. Of course, I had to add it as my buddy, so I have a level 51 version of it. So maybe they saw it, but most people didn't really expect me to run a Mega, I think, so that's kind of fun. But yeah, we're going to have here now the Ninetales against us, we can actually still take a move and force the opponent to shield another, like throw another charge move against me, which is kind of nice. As they can now go ahead and go into the Galarian Stunfisk, they can go for their own charge move here right now. And I can overfarm by a little bit. I knew that they would be able to outspeed me and as well do more damage to me there in general. But, yeah, that would have won the same piece, so I didn't go for my Rock Slide immediately. And I can now go ahead and try to swap out immediately into my Cresselia, as I know that the Virizion going to be a little bit tricky to deal with. In comes now the Regirock, and this is going to be a tough one. I will be able to just spam those Grass Nuts, though, which is going to be nice. And of course, Stone Edge is going to be the hardest hitting move, that's why I let it go. I don't know why I did this. I should have definitely shielded this move up. But honestly, I don't think it really matters because I most likely get to 4 anyway, so I think it's okay. I definitely have to shield this move up here. Stone Edge is going to do more damage than... Why am I not shielding? Like, what is wrong with me? I should have just shielded up all these Stone Edges here at this point of time already and just kept the health alive there. And now I give the opponent a lot of free farm on their Virizion. I have literally no idea what I tried to do here, to be fair. I should have just stayed in. I literally misplayed this the entire time then. That's all on me. And I definitely can at least show that here to you. I definitely don't know what I did here. I don't actually know how this all happened, but yeah, definitely this is not how you play this game. Definitely try to go ahead and play it a little bit better than me. Leaf Blade should do less damage than a Stone Edge, because Stone Edge is 55 energy. Leaf Blade is a very strong charge move, but not as good as a Stone Edge is, as far as I know. But this is going to be most likely it for this game, because I completely screwed it up and the opponent even gets another one. Honestly, I played this so horrific. I should have won this game, but I just played it completely bad. At least you can play now against the world champion MEWeedle. Let's see if this is going to be a little bit better. At least you're going to have now the goal less support against our Stunfisk in the lead. I kind of want to go for the Rock Slide and then dip, because they get to their move next to, like after this one, and I'm going to swap out now into my Sableye, getting out the Registeel. This is fairly decent for me, as I can go ahead and now get this Pokemon out of the way. Do some pretty decent damage here with my foul play as well, as the Sableye is going to hide behind its gem, going to still take this move, and sadly they're going to get the debuff. Honestly, they killed me before at the Stuttgart Regionals with the Registeel, so hopefully I can at least retaliate this Registeel here today, as they can go ahead and go for the foul play. That's going to get some decent damage onto them, and I'm going to let this next move go through. And honestly, I think they make a crazy good play here. Let me see. I'm going to have still their Registeel. I'm going to actually catch the move here onto my Cresselia, which works out really well because it's going to be the Focus Blast. And in comes now the Giratina, which is really good for me, as this will allow me to now go ahead and go for the Moonblast. Moonblast is going to nearly two-shot the opponent, which is really good. With the fast move as well, it's going to two-shot them as they go ahead and go for the Dragon Claw. Kind of showing that they're most likely running the move Ancient Power together with it, otherwise they would have went for the Shadow Sneak here, of course. I'm going to be able to let this move go through here as well, and just going to swap out into my Galarian Stunfisk. They should still be locked into it, but they can go for another charge move here, and here's where they really make a great play. They're going to go ahead and go for another charge move here, very smart as well. It's going to be the Dragon Claw, but it's going to tick down the switch clock there, and they were able to catch the Earthquake onto their Registeel, which has like basically no health left. And like this, I am in a really tough spot, to be fair, especially as I go back into their Giratina, and this Giratina is just so spammy. Honestly, it was so annoying to play against this Pokemon. While they have like only resisted moves, you see already here, it's just going to spam so much. And I'm going to let all of those moves go through, because I know that I still have to shield against the Golisopod. And we get at least the Earthquake through, which is going to knock on the opponent. I can go for a Rock Slide here, which is going to get the final shield. But now we have to hope that our Cresselia can hang in there and get to the Moonblast in time. I don't get the fast move through, which is kind of sad, which I think I should have got through. But I will be able to go for the Moonblast, and look at this. The time is ticking down on top. And this is also going to be it for today's video, as we still have 2 Pokemon left, and this Moonblast is not going to knock them out. We're still going to be able to win this final game, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like on the video, would really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.